Welcome to Google Ads Unleashed, the podcast that helps you harness the power of Google Ads. And now your host, Jeremy Young.
Hello and welcome back to Google Ads Unleashed, guys. Hope everyone is doing fabulously this Monday. And today I want to talk about something that has come across a couple of times now in all of my mentoring calls. So about 3-4 times a week, I sit down at least an hour with various businesses, help them with their Google Ads. And something that I get asked now and again, and I thought it's worth doing an episode on, is they come up with the following question. So I'm seeing all of the impressions and all that in the ad account, but why can't I see my own ads? Okay. People are obsessed with searching for their own ads and making sure of course it's important. You need to have a look at what they look like in order to make improvements if something very specific stands out to you, or to make sort of sure anecdotally in which auctions are you appearing against which competitors and all that. However, it is a poison that you should not be doing it. There's very good reasons why you shouldn't be doing it and why you shouldn't be worried if you don't see your own ads. And I will also break this down to you what to check for in order to make sure that A, there's not a legitimate reason why you don't see your own ads, and B, what you can do to fix it, and C, why it is not a good practice anyway and why you should stop doing it right now. Let's dive right in. So, first of all, why could your ads not show? There's a gazillion reasons for that. Sometimes it's settings, sometimes it's other things such as bid strategy or competitors. It could be a gazillion different reasons, and I want to basically go through all of them today, both for shopping and of course for search if they apply equally, and we can have a look at all of the various reasons. So let's dive right in. First, one of the main reasons why your ads aren't showing is no one is looking for it. I've had this week where I've had a client who's got a relatively unknown business in the B2B sphere and has recently ventured into the D2C space, and he started with a brand search ad, right? Because he's running a bit of meta ads. It's working already, and he's started with brand search because typically good way to do it, right? So to start generating conversions in the ad account and to make sure that you push the algorithm into the right direction. But it hasn't actually been doing anything. And the answer to that is simple, is because no one is searching for it. It's a very specific, weird company name as well. And even on the most aggressive bid strategy, it just didn't sort of deliver anything. So I said, listen, don't worry. Then we'll start with non-brand. It's a little bit more difficult, but that is just a simple reason. He was trying to look for ads for himself and he just could not get that sorted and could not see his own ads. And that's a simple reason that sometimes people are just not searching for that. Another reason is budget could be run out, right? So either you've not set enough budget for the campaign, right? In terms of you start with ridiculously low budgets. I've seen that as well, where people start with £2 or £3 or euros or dollars a day and think, well, obviously you're not going to see ads, right? Because there's simply not enough budget. And for the couple of impressions that it shows, you are not the person it's showing to on that day. But it could also be that you're doing this at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. in the evening and your budget has actually run out for the day, right? So it's not really delivering any ads anymore, and then you won't see your own ads, of course, anymore. So that's a reason that you could check for, and just exclude that from the possible reasons why it may not show your own ads. Then the third thing is ad scheduling. So sometimes you may have accidentally added an ad schedule or deliberately added an ad schedule. And of course you won't see your own ads if you're searching outside of those ad schedules, right? If your business runs 9 to 5 and you're searching at 8 in the morning, of course you won't see your own ad. So that is a very common reason that I've seen as well. The fourth reason is geo-targeting. So I've had this with a client, which was really funny. He was based in Austria and was running ads in Germany and said, Jeremy, I can't see my own ads. What's going on? I'm spending money and I can't really make sure we're seeing it. Well, of course you won't see your own ads, you Edda. You are in Austria. You're not in Germany. You have to be in the location. So if you really want to do that properly, you've got to either use the ad preview tool from Google, right, which I don't find as optimal because I feel like it skews sort of the actual SERP a little bit, or you use a VPN, right, which you can easily do, or you pay for a tool such as, for instance, iSearchFrom.com, which we have as an agency, because you can simulate a real life search from all different devices and browsers in real time in other sort of locations in the world, in various languages, on various domains of Google. So it's a really helpful tool in order to preview what a search may look like. Okay. The kind of fifth reason sometimes why you may not see your own ads is that you have a device bid adjustment on there. For instance, we have a client that sells a certain type of software. And what was funny is they were saying, "Oh, we can't see our own ads. We can't see our own ads." Well, it's because we deliberately excluded mobiles from our ads because all of our customers would be sitting in an office between 9 and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and would not actually order on a different device. So of course you won't see any ads on mobile because we excluded them, right? Deliberately, because we spent like 5,000 euros without a single lead on it, and it was a total disaster, and that's why we stopped. We just looked at the data and made the right decision, right? But yeah, that's sometimes something that you get, so that's something that you could check for if you maybe accidentally set that. Then the next reason why you may not see your own ads is sometimes just ad dynamics and auction dynamics, right? So of course your ads, your keywords will have a certain quality score, which may be too poor and may not show as a result. Your shopping ads have a certain quality score as well, which is invisible though, it's a bit smoke and mirrors. So that may damage what is actually going on and may damage the sort of, how should I say, the delivery of the ads. But what your competitors are doing is just as important as that, right? So if they are outbidding you 10x on what you're doing, well, and you've got 10x the budget, then of course you will not see your ad. And a lot of these reasons are interwoven. So for instance, if your quality score isn't the best anyway, and you have quite little budget on the day, then you need a lot of luck to even see your ad, okay? So this is something that you just have to consider. Quality score, landing page experience, ad relevance, all these other things, and determine whether you can actually see your own ads or not. Then the next thing is ad disapproval. So I've actually had this many times as well, where people are like, what's going on? Why am I not seeing my own ads? And it turns out that, I don't know, for 2 days already, the ad account has been suspended because of a missing payment method, or the ads disapproved or whatnot. So all of this has happened to me as well before. So just double and triple check that is the case. And then finally, a very common reason is that your bid is too low, right? So if you are starting with manual CPC on a brand search and set the CPC to 5 pence or 5 cents or whatever, well, of course your ad is never going to show, right? So you have to sort of bit by bit actually up the bids, and then that should repair that. So to sum it up, why you may not be seeing your own ads, there's a lot of reasons for that. There could be setting issues. So for instance, wrong bid strategy, or the bid strategy is not strong enough. It could be settings that simply prevent you from showing, right? So for instance, ad scheduling or geo settings or stuff like that. There could simply not be enough search volume for your ads that Google even considers to trigger ads for it, right? You have to have a certain search volume for certain search terms in order for ads even to be delivered on those keywords and on those products. It could be ad dynamics, it could be disapprovals, and it also could be some bid adjustments that you made, for instance, device bid adjustments and stuff like that. The issue, though, why I get asked this very often, is people want to see their own ads and they are obsessed with their own ads, right? So they are searching for the ad and then come to me and say, "Oh, I don't see my own ad, is everything okay?" Trust your on-platform data. If impressions are there, if the click-through rate's healthy and everything, impression share is there, click share is fine and everything, do not worry if you see your own ads or not, because this is something that a lot of people actually do, and with that they are actually damaging their own presence, okay? because what you're doing is every time you search for your own ads, you typically will not click on your ad. So as a result, what happens is you are generating an impression without a click, which in Google's eyes is poison, right? That's the worst that they want. They don't want to show ads that people don't click. So if you're searching for your own ads and don't actually click on your own ads, then Google will consider you irrelevant and consider this interaction as less relevant. And Google lives of relevancy. So if you do that, you actually damage your own ad performance. So you shouldn't be doing it anyway. But also, what also happens is Google realizes over time you are someone who keeps searching for the ad but never clicking on it. So over time, it's not going to show you your own ad anymore. So if this is an obsessive behavior that you have and do all the time, especially since you are on your website all the time, right? If you have cookies on and your cache on as well, you're constantly on your site checking your PDP, working on that, working in Shopify, working this and so on, but you never actually purchase from yourself. Of course, Google will not show you your ads, right? So it's meant to sort of work this way, right? And that is, I think, what is kind of the takeaway from this. So you shouldn't be doing it in the first place, but if you do, there could be a gazillion reasons why your ads don't show. So usually it's nothing to panic. If your account metrics look fine, then you should be fine as well. Hopefully this has been helpful, maybe for some people to explain to clients when they have clients why this is happening, or explain it to their friends who have been wondering what's happening to my ads. Or if this has been yourself, maybe it's been a bit of an eye-opener to stop doing that and trusting the experts and having a chat with them. And if you want to do that, I'm always there. Jeremy and Google Ads on LinkedIn, jeremy@younganddigital.marketing via email, or you can simply head to the website younganddigital.marketing and book a one-to-one call with us. We are currently accepting 1 or 2 clients more for this quarter. So if you are a good fit, you can always get in touch and maybe we can work something out. We also got 1 or 2 mentoring spots open as well. Currently, we are concluding our last mentoring position, I think next Friday. So after that, we should be good to go, and we should have some availability to beef up your Google Ads knowledge. And if it's not been beefed up yet, listen back to all the episodes, give us a subscribe, and I'd love to see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to Google Ads Unleashed. To connect with Jeremy, check him out online at www.younganddigital.marketing. We'll see you next time.